Hey, we're at the Petite League show.
How's it going?
Yeah, this is a real interesting start to the podcast.
Yeah. Video introduction, I
Yeah,
guess.
we're together. I'm actually touching his
God.
face. Yeah. But yeah,
It's real in the flesh.
it's happening. We're gonna
happening.
get content claims for whatever's playing over the speakers right now. But
We'll add some noise and dirtiness to it so they can't claim it.
yeah, and I mean we're talking over it too, so this constitutes fair use. But,
Yeah, I'll put some subtle white noise in there.
yeah. But yeah, we're at the East Room right now. Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville.
Whew.
Long way
Yeah,
for both of us.
4 hours for me, 8 hours for him.
Yes.
And also you can see our dumb faces move for the first time.
Yeah, our first video element of the podcast? Like, no.
I've put in like some text.
I put in text. I think, have I put in anything? Video?
I don't know if you've put any videos in, but
I put in like weird stuff here and there.
yeah, like
I know
little
that.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like on the technical difficulties round 2, you just switched it to a photo of my face.
So this is gonna be for the Raccoon Love episode.
Yeah,
So I'll try to come back down here to see Raccoon Love at some point.
yeah. At some point we'll try and do that.
We both listened to your album,
Yeah, we have words.
on the podcast.
Yes.
Coming up.
Now.
Yeah.
I'll forever
All right.
forget how cool that now recording sounds.
Yeah, we don't use Craig anymore.
Yeah, hardly use it. Dominic's not here, so I guess I'll do the intro. Hello
Yeah.
and welcome to Dissonant Waves, featuring your two favorite co-hosts. Here's Trix,
Howdy.
and I'm Riddle. Dominic is dead to us.
On his way to he's on his way to St. Louis. No, not St. Louis. Fucking I forget the city, but he's going to a second Petite League show because he's a fucking maniac.
I have this strange feeling that he has a sexual attraction to Lorenzo that he wants to fulfill, and I don't blame him.
Honestly, meeting him in person, the dude just exudes charisma.
I envy that.
But yeah, I'll get into the Nashville trip for a bit. To start off, while I cook this cheese quesadilla that's about the size of my face.
And I drink this tea, which is peppermint flavored.
Ooh, nice pick.
I'm here trying to start like go on a diet, and then you two, who were probably no, not trying to be offensive here. You two are probably fatter than I am, and then it's just hearing cheese quesadilla, and I'm just going like, okay, that's probably why.
I mean, you've seen the photo of the two of us together. We're a bit on the larger side, yeah.
No, not that I can really act like I'm skinny myself.
Yeah, we're all kind of large and vaguely in charge.
My boobs are bigger than my girlfriend's.
I haven't been there, I don't think, actually.
Actually, it's around the same size. I think we're pretty comparable. You know you're compatible when you have the same boob size as your girlfriend.
Swap bras. But anyways, as I was getting onto, yeah, Domino and I went to Nashville, and we saw Petite League, and holy shit, that show was awesome.
So I'm just having my girlfriend death stare me. Just having like so.
Yeah.
I called my boobs big. Trying to say I'm calling her having a small. I wouldn't call myself small. Anyway, go on to this.
Sleeping on the couch tonight.
Oh, we did finally clean the lounge room, so it won't be too bad.
So I drove down from where I'm living in Indiana. He drove down from fucking Chicagoland, and we met one of the artists we're covering this week. We talked with him. I think Dominic said to his face that his album wasn't great, which balls. Which
I mean, you could always say that to each other, to be honest.
Yeah, but so we when I got there, it took me a little longer than expected because of traffic and all that. Then I got there. we did 2 escape rooms back to back, and then went to the Petite League show. And
Yeah, we now have some pictures of Trix and Dominic together.
yes, and
marking
a
the
small
first
video
time.
that'll.
The first time that the two podcast members of the 3 have met up with each other, and probably the last
Yes.
time until one of you go to Australia because fuck America. Thank you.
Fair enough.
And talk about the
that's
Petite League show itself actually, because there was I think there was some surprise omissions from that set list, but there was also quite a lot of
Yeah.
It seems like they
Before we get to
covered quite a lot in 11 songs.
yeah. Before we get to Petite League itself, there's a couple things I wanted to cover beforehand.
Yeah, fair enough.
We when we got there, we thought we saw Cameron of Raccoon Love going in because he had the same haircut, same like jacket, wearing a face mask, all that sort of deal. And also like really early at the Petite League show. And we thought he couldn't get in because he lost his vax card, but it was a different person entirely.
So we don't even really have the vax passport here yet. Anyway, obviously we've had the shit vaccine rollout. We're not going to go too in depth to it, otherwise it's become a political state, but political podcast. Sorry, but the fun thing about that for us is that it's been found to have been like really easily fakeable, despite being digital. So this is going to be fun.
Well, ours is a little piece of card.
So even more fakeable.
Yeah,
So,
and
for some reason, America's
always
always
of the Moderna vaccine.
For some reason, America's always gone like, "Hey, this very important detail that we should keep complete track of. Put it on a
social security cards.
little paper card."
Yeah, like my social security. God, that's another rant. Okay, so
we don't even have that here. It's just America being America.
Yeah, that's just well, you have like a national ID though, don't you? Where you have like your own ID number.
We just have licenses and probably have something. I don't have to carry around a social security. I have to carry around my ID, but.
Well, we don't have to carry around our social security card. We just have to like know the number. If we want to open a bank account, we're gonna need our social security card.
We have a tax file number.
That's basically what our social is.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the show. The other 2 acts that we saw were Mark Fritz, I think it was, and Baseball Game. And Baseball Game was really fun. They were 5 guys. Or at one point they had 3 guitarists going at once. It was just like some clean, sparkly indie, a little bit of edge, good fun, synths, that sort of thing. I couldn't name a song because they didn't really introduce their song titles. And then the other guy, Mark Fritzen, I'll look it up and I'll send you the link later. But he was like this big songwriter with he played keyboard and he had a sax player, which Dominic was all into. But he kicks some serious ass too. The show is full of heavy hitters. I'll say that much.
That's always good. Like,
yeah,
there have definitely been times where I've gone to a show and it's just like, hey, I really want like. I went to and this is just the shirt that I'm wearing actually from this show, and this is like in 2019 because I found I saw that they were breaking up and they were doing a show like on Wednesday and near me. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go. It was Cry Rank, and that was one where they had 2 artists there, which one the name was better than the songs. Bruce Pristine. It seemed to be a Bruce Springsteen knockoff name, and
kind of related to John Cougar.
Yeah, one called Dying Adolescence, which like I hate. Like I really hate knocking on artists for the sake of it. But someone, and this comes from someone who can't sing as well. Someone really should have just told him he can't sing. His songwriting was shit. His singing was shit. It was trash. And I thought it was. I thought maybe it was just a night because someone else on another Discord ended up seeing them as well to open for a show. I was just like said to them, "Hey, tell me how it is," because they're kind of trash. Yeah, they still are. But there was this kind of like this kind of like emo act that was in front of it, which was just like these local people from the area. That was actually cool. It was called Zounds or something like that. And it happened to have like they introduced their songs, and they had some of the funniest fucking titles. That was stuff like set in Lincoln Park, which is set in Link is like our whole unemployment here.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, School Athletics Carnival, which was a reference to a metal band, and Ellen Page Against the Machine.
Now Elliot Page Against the Machine.
Yeah. Well, this was in 2019, so.
Oh yeah. I'm just updating.
Obviously.
For the joke.
But like that was one where it's like one of those random acts that you have no idea about, and they just just the charisma on stage was enough to enjoy them. Their songs weren't anything special, but they were fun enough. I ended up buying the album off Bandcamp. I figured, why not?
Yeah, and so back to the Petite League show.
Yeah,
they opened with what was it? Fucking
Devil's Rifle, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Devil's Rifle was made for you, and that is a hell of an opening song.
Named after you, I believe. Actually, you got your Petite League songs wrong. I'm gonna have to invoke.
What did I say? What did I say?
You said made for you.
I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep cooking quesadilla right now. So
yeah, fair enough. It's yeah. I actually when you were mentioning the set list, by the way, I was actually like putting some of the songs on while I was out for a bit of exercise, just to kind of like envision what it would be like live.
But let me tell you, that is a hell of an opener, and they played it a little bit faster and a little bit louder than what it is on the album. And talk about a way to immediately get it hype. Had more of like a punk vibe to it. But yeah, that song kicked some serious ass. The bulk of their tracks were off of surprisingly Rattler and Slugger.
Well, Slugger doesn't surprise me because well, Not Always Happy is their most played song on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's on 1.2
They played the ones off Slugger they played were Not Always Happy, Little 4th of July, and Raspberry Seeds. And
Raspberry Seeds not on Slugger
though. Is not on the what?
Raspberry Seeds isn't on Slugger, that's on No Hitter.
Oh yeah, that's on No Hitter. My bad. I think they had another there was another Slugger song. I'm forgetting it off the top of my head.
I'm gonna just check the set list that I think I've written down. I think you might.
Yeah, you
be
did
wrong.
write it down.
Yeah, because let's go. No, I think it was actually only Little 4th of July and Not Always Happy.
Yeah, you are right. That is my bad. There's only one song off of Rips one, and that was Sundogs.
I'm really surprised I didn't go for I know Sundogs I guess is the one that has the most plays, but Shin Brews I think was the one that was getting a bit more popularity off that. Like there was a couple things a couple of surprise omissions I guess from there. I thought they might do at least their new single Bad for Fun.
Yeah, no Bad for Fun. I was kind of expecting that. Maybe like a new Tricks or something.
Or a Young Bubblegum as well from Rattler, which is like the most popular song off that.
But it's the best song off of Rattler. That's goddamn why.
I was definitely happy to actually see though what the Rattler tunes are. There were Devil's Rifle, not really one of my favorites, but I can see how that's on there. But so glad to see New York Girls was played because that one would be incredible live, I reckon.
Oh, it was. I took a real creepy selfie during that.
Very, very much, surprised the lack of Joyrider, seeming as this was a Joyrider tour, was it not?
Yeah, it was sort of. It was just kind of a tour. I don't really think they put a name on it.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I will say they did Hang the Cowboy into a Rattler. That fucking kicked ass. because I remember back in like episode 6 when we did Rattler. Dominic was saying like I could see this as like a song where they did live and they like played as a big joke, and like it's got like this bit of like a jammy feel to it almost. I think he said something like that, and that's exactly what they did.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And he introduced it by like back in New York. This is gonna go over well in Nashville, but there was this thing a couple years ago where we all pretended to be cowboys for a while, and then they wanted to hang the cowboy, and then as that's cleaning up, and we kissed on the lips, and you said close your eyes, and I missed, and it just fucking worked so hard.
Mm. I'm very surprised actually. The one that's probably the biggest omission I reckon from that would probably be the title track of Joe Rata. I would have thought that would have actually been a quite a good song to like either close off with or put in as an opener.
I could see why they would want to skip that because it's got like the line about burning cop cars and it's about quarantine and we're getting out of quarantine.
Maybe, yeah. I think there's yeah, I think it's a pretty surprising list. I think when you're an underground artist, most of your fans usually don't care what you play anyway, as long as you just play.
We were just happy that they played. I was hoping for something off of Rip's one, and they played Sundogs. That was enough for me.
I thought it would have gone Sundogs into a Moondogs. To be honest, I thought that would have been a
that would have been pretty cool. But they did them both.
Yeah. And obviously, good to see St. Michael get played. That's a fantastic track. Of Joe Rata. It's probably one of my favorites. It's probably one of my favorite Petite League songs at this moment, anyway.
After that song, Lorenzo said that's probably the first time anybody spoke French in this building.
And probably the big last one we haven't talked about is the probably like I've come to like go on to Petite League, and their albums still haven't changed in my opinion by much, but some of their songs grow a bit on me more. Mostly just the ones that I already enjoyed. I'd probably say Annie is a definite top 5 Petite League song.
Annie is a banger. I especially like the solo acoustic version that Lorenzo did a lot better. But like it kicked ass as like a whole big band. Like I will say I understand why they called that album Rattler, because holy shit, that live it rattles your brain.
Annie is off No Hitter.
Well, I'm talking more just about in general.
Yeah.
I know that Annie is off of No Hitter.
That sounds like a pretty good a pretty good time. I think some video that might get released on the Twitter or something if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. And maybe Dominic will work some into the thing. At one point, Lorenzo broke a string, and he had to swap guitars with one of the guys from baseball game.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And he's like, "I'm gonna play the next song with this guitar because it's just a really nice guitar." It was kind of adorable. We got to talk with him before and after the show. Whole band just seemed down to earth. Really, really chill dudes. They just enjoyed talking to us, and like it was pretty rad.
Do we want to flow this into our first album to cover this week?
Yeah. While we were at the Petite League show, we met Cameron of Raccoon Love.
So we haven't actually introduced the albums that we're doing this week. So that's like something that Dominic usually has covered up here.
He pulls that up front. We forgot.
Well, we mostly just went into the important stuff, but yeah, we're covering 3 albums this week. We're doing Raccoon Love's Ballads of Adolescence, Anamanaguchi's USA, and John Cougar Concentration Camps. I already forgot what the title was.
Till Niagara Falls.
Let's get started though with Raccoon Love, and look, I think it is all of ours number 3 of the week, but I think Dominic's a bit too harsh on this. This is just people having fun with an album.
Yeah, it is. I listened to it in the car with Dominic on the way to the Petite League show, and gotta say, opening track, brave way to open an album.
I mean, I feel like the only real issue with this album was it was kind of forgettable. yeah, not everything about it was executed too well, but I don't know. I feel like this is one of those ones where it's just people having fun with the album. They haven't really tried to make anything groundbreaking, haven't tried to make anything good. They just tried to make something that they think was fun and put it out there.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to like hate this album. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
it's hard to hate. I'm not a big fan of it, but like I can't hate it.
I definitely feel like Dominic was very like self-conscious about this and thought this was just an album like to choose because it's related to Petite League. And this is something that he thinks is that we might consider the worst album he's ever picked. It's not even fucking close.
LSD is much worse. Like this has
Yeah.
heart. LSD doesn't have heart.
Yeah, I'd say the Alex Boniello is definitely be worse as well. Dominic is
Yeah.
actually in the Discord saying hello. So, greetings from Missouri. So Dominic's
Indeed.
currently on a bit of a road trip still, which is why he hasn't stopped over to join in this.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, he's stopped over to message us on here. So, gotta hope that he's not texting and driving,
Yeah. Let's hope not.
or at least if he is, he's doing it well.
Stopped.
Yeah. Anyway, like this is. He definitely probably feels like this is a bit of a risky album to pick, and I hate that I'm mostly just talking about why Dominic picked this, but no one else is talking about it, so like he hasn't written too much why he's picked this, but
Yeah.
it's like it's like he's very harsh, and just from what I'm reading here, that on this album. It's kind of like I don't know. It's hard to explain Dominic's opinions in 5 seconds here, but he mostly just talks about how the production feels really simple, or the lyrics feel kind of angsty, I guess is the way that he's trying to put it here. And then he's also said I can put together a better composition, but I'm telling you, when you say lift it straight from Ableton or a Casio keyboard, what the what? I was lifting mine straight from Ableton and a fucking MIDI keyboard I bought for $90.
Yeah. I said like one of the things I noticed is that the when I was listening to it, I mentioned the drums sound like he just hit a button on like a old '80s Casio keyboard. They had the drum samples built in.
I mean, again, this isn't anything groundbreaking or anything like that, but I just suspect that this doesn't feel like it's an album trying to be anything more than it actually is.
No, it doesn't. It's a respectable attempt too. Like for two guys doing this in like their basement or whatever. Yeah, it's all right.
Where he talks about there's a lot of Petite League influence to the point where it feels like a Petite League knockoff, and I mean, Petite League themselves are inspired by garage rock.
Yeah, like Henry, the drummer himself, was saying that Sundogs was just a Strokes ripoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's also definitely I think you two both like really don't like the opener as well.
Oh yeah, the opener is real strange.
I don't know. I don't have a favorite or least favorite on this album because it's just kind of like came and went. It's a really hard album to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one you really have to listen to. It's a bit weird to put out there, kind of like our EPs in a way. Except I'd say that this is better than my EP.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'm already bored about talking this one. This is like the least favorite out of like all this to talk about because it's not bad, it's not good, it's just there, and like it's more interesting to talk about the show in this case than it actually is to talk about this album.
Yeah, like that was that is a memory I'm gonna remember for a while. That whole
Mm.
Nashville trip, seeing Petite League, just absolutely just running a giant dopamine high and forgetting to like eat all day. That entire day, I only had an order of tots from a vegan barbecue place.
Mm. Oh, you wanted to just move on to the next one?
Well, should we talk about favorites and least favorites first? Because I do want to agree with Dominic.
I got none.
I, I do want to say that I agree with
I've
Dominic's
listened.
assessment of a brighter day being like a neutral milk hotel early cut sort of deal.
I've listened to
And
this
that
album 3 times, and I can remember hardly any of it.
fair enough.
Something like I think I said it like last week, or I said it somehow. Like if you remember it, it's either that good or that bad. If you can't, it was just there. Talking
Yeah,
about kind of like memories and shit like that, blah blah blah. And so I can't remember it, and I've listened to it 3 times.
yeah. So, anyways, shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna put Dominic on blast here. Actually, we're gonna talk about Anamanaguchi, and if you feel like this album was if you echo his sentiment, I think it's like all hope lost, to be honest.
Okay, I do have some things to say about Anamanaguchi. I don't think it's my favorite this week.
It doesn't have to be.
But I think this is an album I would have absolutely loved had it come out in 2015 and I was still big into the big electronic scene that I was.
I can get that it's like Dominic's hatred for USA, and he hasn't hate this album, he likes it, but it's talking about how moments on here are trying to sound too epic or anything, but there is definitely a lot of kind of like J-pop rock sounds in this. They've obviously had some influence from working with PC music and like PC music or hyperpop, and it kind of has a bit of an influence here where they start to try and do those more anthemic moments. And same with J-pop or even the Porter Robertson production in here, which they've obviously had some like contact with him and some stuff like that, because there's definitely some Porter Robertson influence on here.
Oh, absolutely. What was the tune Air Online? I'm like, oh, this is just like a Porter Robinson tune. Like for a while.
That one's actually produced by him. So
yeah, I can tell. I used to listen to a shit ton of Porter Robinson. His what was his 2015 album that had the hand on it? Worlds.
Worlds, yeah.
That was for a while. That was like my favorite album for just like a while. So like I'm pretty familiar with Porter Robinson.
So I'll quickly just describe Anamanaguchi as well. So they're a 4-piece American band, usually specialize in chiptune. Most of their albums, actually before this, had kind of been pure chiptune. The most famous thing that they had actually done was the soundtrack to the Scott Pilgrim video games, which a lot of people consider that to be like an S-tier soundtrack, and fairly so. They had also done some help with Bit Trip, with like putting some of their songs in there. I don't think they did. They might have helped actually with the level. I have to go check on that. But here they've actually kind of started a more. They haven't thrown the chiptune away, but they've allowed the chiptune.
Added a backing band for metaphor.
Yeah, and this is an EDM album. They've put out an EDM album.
Yeah.
I think there's some really absolutely incredible moments on here, and Dominic's saying there's some really low moments, but even the lowest moment on this, Up to You, still kind of catchy.
Yeah, it's like I don't think this is an album I'll come back to that often, just because I'm not really into this style of music anymore.
It's not something that you had to go back to. I feel like this is something that you need to at least appreciate, that this is not fucking easy. Chiptune has never like gotten mainstream, and this album hasn't gotten mainstream. It's really hard to incorporate chiptune correctly, but some of these songs on here are just downright impressive and have a huge chiptune moment to them. Lorem Ipsum's like my favorite off this, and that song just fucking blows me away every time.
Yeah, that's a pretty big banger.
The drumming on that is so fucking spectacular. It's actually just incredible that a song like an instrumental. It's practically an instrumental song. Yeah, they go Lorem Ipsum at the start, but like that's just gibberish words that are in there to kind of put in this kind of opening in there.
It's Latin. It does actually mean something, but it's Latin.
The actual usage of it here is
it's filler text.
It's more what I meant, and Latin is pretty much dead. So,
Yeah.
But there are some really anime sounding. It's the best way to describe it. Anime sounding moments on here, which you could just imagine playing on the credits of some anime, just watching fucking people flying with fucking ninjas and shit all over the place. You wouldn't be surprised. Would not fucking be surprised if I goddamn saw Sunset by Plane played over a fucking Naruto compilation.
Yeah, I'm sure if you dig, you can find it. I mean, we found that my dream girl don't exist. AMV
still doesn't beat Real Death Night Cortex. But Sunset by Plane is just another one of those fucking moments which just kind of blows me away on this record. Just the singing on there is so comforting. Dominic has this like, it goes at these epic moments and they're kind of no, fuck off, they're fucking epic. I don't care if there's fucking cheese in this album or not, because it's going full fun and it's fucking epic.
Speaking of cheese, I just finished my quesadilla.
Ooh. Like the last chorus in Sunset by Plane, after I say this, please go on about your quesadilla. The last fucking chorus in there, where the instrumentation also gets so much more chaotic. Like, she sounds like kind of more depressed, talking about this kind of relationship breakdown that's happening in it. And it's this contrast is working so fucking well. And that instrumentation is just fucking get you going. Like, this is the actual type of shit. That quesadilla looks beautiful, by the way. This is the type of fucking shit I want to see in a Get Motivated playlist. Just because stuff tries to sound like it's epic doesn't mean it's failed. If you've actually successfully done it, it's fucking epic, and it sounds like this on this. This album is fucking epic.
Yeah.
Fucking We Die. It's instrumental. Yeah, it can get a bit repetitive, but fuck, the build-up is so good on that. On my own, Hannah just nails the fucking vocals. Fucking anthemic. Fucking euphoric. I have not been in a situation that Hannah has been in here, but fuck, I feel it just from the way that she fucking sings it. Fucking, I am not the weaker one when I am here on my own. Fuck, it's beautiful.
And in this moment, I am euphoric.
Not because of some phony god, but because of my own intelligence. That was a great moment for it.
Tips Fedora into the fucking ground.
Yeah, I would say Up to You is a bit of a contrast that doesn't work here. I think having that kind of like earwormy track, like they've done the earwormy track better. I think Every Day, Every Night does what Up to You was supposed to try and do with its instrumentation, and a lot better. But even as an individual song, that song's fine. I would say my real only gripe with this album is that there is a lot of filler.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transition tracks in here, and they're cool for a bit. Some of them do go on for a bit too long, like at the ending, LRM, USA, like these intros and outros. I mean, I like USA as an intro actually a bit more. I think it does a lot more ambitious, but there's a lot of other moments on here where just that filler is a little bit, probably could do a bit more. I know Dominic actually likes Speak to You quite a lot because that kind of fucking KK Slider style vocals, and then that just kind of harsh static that just comes into you that fucking gives you a fucking trip. And just goes straight into Sunset by Plane. But it feels like CRT Woods at times before that is also a bit of filler. And
yeah,
I think they're fine to cruise along to. I don't think there's any bad moment on here. But
I do think you could probably cut about like 15 minutes off this album and not lose anything though.
I wouldn't say as far as 15, but I do agree that there definitely is parts of this which could be trimmed down. Like I think the fucking highs on here make up for those lows on here, because the fucking peaks on this are goddamn fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like I can't give you. Lorem Ipsum has 2 minutes of ambience, pretty much to end it, and it also I don't think it's actually as 2 minutes. But it's so haunting after this fucking ambitious, beautiful sound, like collage of sounds that happen, which is just, it's like the setup for this album. That's like the perfect kind of like intro song to have on here.
Yeah.
And that song I can't say a single bad thing about. It's like a perfect song to me. Air Online, Porter Robinson's contributions to that really shine, but it's a beautiful song actually. It's one of those ones that I would absolutely love to see live, and I know I think they actually do a bit of a light show with that one from what I recall.
Oh,
And
cool.
you can fucking see it, because fucking hell. I think Dominic's really just like not been too accepting that albums could go for a lot of epic moments in them. Like this is the Andrew WK of EDM.
Yeah, that's a very apt description, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Which I kind of want to do Goddess Partying, but like I'm not sure if I want to do that. Yeah, if we'll fit it in, we'll see.
Again, it doesn't have to be an album that you go back to. If this is not your style of music to go to, it's fully understandable. This is an EDM record. It's not trying to be anything up. Like, this is the type of stuff that would get played at festivals.
Yeah, like this is the stuff I really used to be big into. Like as I said, Porter Robinson's Worlds was one of my favorite albums in high school. I listened to that thing.
We can do the 2021 Porter Robinson album this year.
I didn't even know he put one out.
Yeah, he put one out this year. It's like his first album since Worlds.
Damn, it's been 7 years.
Yeah. But I think when you do go to this album and actually listen to it, those moments which are the peaks of here are just so incredible. I think Anamanaguchi is a band that hasn't actually put out their peak as well yet. I think the singles that they put out last year were so entertaining as well. I'm just so fucking hyped for them. They had a big period when they were doing the video game music, and now they're kind of starting to come into their own. I've already forgot what the fucking thing that I complained about last week with Chiptune was. Probably Oscar Lang.
Yeah, it was Oscar Lang.
Yep. But if you can't appreciate this album, then I don't think you were listening to it. That's just
I can definitely appreciate it. That's fair enough. I do think Dominic is a little bit harsh in his critique, but like I can understand where he's coming at a little bit.
I can understand liking John Cougar more than this. I personally don't, but I can understand that. Because they both, and I'm doing this as like kind of a whole. I'm just gonna say my favorites on here are We Die, Lorem Ipsum, on my own, Air Online, Sunset by Plane, least favorite is Up to You. Dominic's least favorite is Up to You, and least favorite is On My Own. Just doing this because we're gonna I'm just putting it out there because I'm pretty much gonna flow into John Cougar. So if you want to just say your favorites.
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite or least favorite. It's just all kind of good.
Yeah, and the reason why I can see why you could like John Cougar more than this on that is because these two albums have the same kind of main a main reason why they're good. They're fucking fun to listen to, and I can understand you or Dominic liking John Cougar more because you just like that genre more.
Yeah,
it's completely understandable. Even though I'm not like on that same page here. And I don't like to be the person who talks shit behind the back of another co-host, but I'm gonna fucking do it, huh? Nah, I love you, Dominic.
He's gonna listen to this, you know that.
Yeah, nah, love you, Dominic. But yeah, I think it's just a bit harsh in this case to go at it for trying to be epic when I just feel personally it succeeds in doing so.
Yeah, I guess we all kind of have our own personal bar for epic and
Yeah.
if it works or not.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I listen to this through Dominic's ears, I'll probably have the same opinion as him.
Yeah, because he'd be listening through his ears.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Let's go on to John Cougar Concentration Camp, which at least for me wins the award for best band name.
Yeah, that's how I found out about them. I was looking because I'm
gonna have to send this one to my dad actually, because this is just so up his alley.
Yeah, when I used to work for the government in a warehouse job, and I mentioned asked them to play some Diarrhea Planet tune or something. And they're like, "Oh, that's a bad band name," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure we can find a worse one." And John Cougar was one of those, and that's how I found out about them.
This is a fun album. I actually really just enjoyed listening to it. I think that
it surprises
minutes
for like a punk album.
That 3 minutes of silence in the bloody for the secret song's a bit annoying, but it's like an old album, so I can understand it. It's not something I hold as a grudge against the album.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you any of the songs' names on here really by heart. I'm just looking at them now just to remember what they all are. But sorry. Oh fuck! I've got tongue twisters. The closer was good. I actually liked the intro. I don't think there was a bad moment on here. This was a surprisingly good album.
Yeah, like if with a name with like John Cougar Concentration Camp, your bar is set about as low as it can go.
Mm. Yeah, this is one of those records where I just had to go up. I had to go and find the people who love punk on the Earth's Music Discord and just go, hey, you gotta listen to this. Just have some fun. This won't be your album of the year in 1997. This won't be one of your absolute favorites, but this will be fun. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, like it's punk, front to back. It's just punk. Like you could put this on playing Tony Hawk, wouldn't feel out of place at all.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Small Town was a really surprisingly good closer.
Yeah.
This is an album that knows exactly what it's doing. It's also pretty well produced for an underground artist in '97.
Yeah, it's the guitarists and drummer I think also were part of the Queers at the time, which
I don't really know.
Which they're a much bigger punk band of sort of like the same vein. Like one of their songs was in the movie Surf's Up.
Ah. And, I mean, I'm looking at John Cougar Concentration. They're still active as a band. They broke up in '99.
Yeah, they are.
Came back in 2009.
Yes.
They're still active, and they were pretty prolific in their first run, putting out 5 albums in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Here's a question: how does this stack up against something like a Liquids?
I enjoyed this more than Liquids.
Yeah, that's a fair bet. I quite enjoy Liquids myself, especially now that I live in their state. But yeah, I can definitely see the appeal of this over Liquids, and I can see the appeal of Liquids over this.
I mean, seeming as next week's going to be one of the longest and hardest listens. I'm really happy that
not one of them. Maybe for you, but not for me and Dominic.
Oh, for Daughter of Cloud, it's going to be I'm not into that era of Montreal. Don't smoke on my.
You only got one song. Yeah, you only got one song from me.
2. Holy Mountain.
I'm not counting Holy Mountain.
I am.
Because that's a live version of one of their songs off of their second album, Sleep's Holy Mountain.
I don't really care. I still like a fucking 63-minute track is their fucking second most played song. Fucking hell.
You'll see why.
I was more referring to the of Montreal in terms of now.
Yeah. I might actually have a shot at number 1 next week, which is an interesting thought.
Yeah, I think we look. Look, I think the best part of out next week's gonna be the Shins, not the fucking Shins. I was thinking of the your Onion cover, the of Montreal covers. Sorry, especially like that Shins cover.
Yeah.
Daughter of Cloud's gonna be like, oh no, I'm scared. Man. I'm scared.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna listen to it like once and call it good.
So I should point out that when I say I'm scared, man, I say that as a reaction and a gender neutral term, mostly because I don't know. I've never thought about that. I've just never thought about it when I say that stuff. I just always like every time that I've somehow been on a chat with a girl, regardless of what it is, I've always just called them dude. This is probably why I was single for so much of my life.
Maybe.
Yeah, Ash is just like nodding and like, yeah. I'm pretty sure I even call her dude. Fuck me. Yeah, I did. She's but nah, it's good to been having this like fun week. Even Raccoon Love, which isn't the most interesting of this, is still fun. I didn't hate listening to it. Anamanaguchi, I mean, I obviously adore that album. It was one of my favorites of 2019. I was actually been meaning to bring it up for a while, but I don't know. I guess I didn't because I was mostly doing Australian for a while and going back to Australia next week, and then I've got so much that I want to cover from this year alone. Like I'm off track, but like I don't really care anymore.
If I'm gonna be honest, there's a couple 2021 albums coming out that I like really want to cover too.
There's been a lot that I'm happy that I've covered as well. I did like this kind of list today of albums and EPs. I'm like, hey, what do I actually consider a 10 out of 10 that I own? And
yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah, I've come to the thought. I treat it as an EP, so it won't be my album of the year. But I've actually come to like the conclusion just from how much I've listened to it since covering it, how much every part of it that I hated has grown on me, and now I actually just love. I've actually come to the conclusion that Home Is Where is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it is. I will fully agree with that.
Yeah, because even the old country, which I thought was bad, it's actually just really relaxing after all that kind of like energy has been streamed out. It's actually
it's a good track for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
also, I'm about to put a Petite League sticker on one of my basses live on this on the air right now.
Nice. Yeah, but that's like I'll get this list up. Like I have on this playlist. This is just stuff that I own, and I'll go through it. It's only 24 albums, and these are all the stuff that I own on here, and two of the albums in which I consider a 10 out of 10, I had to put out that the artist can die, but I still consider the albums a 10 out of 10. It's a bit fucked. But,
yeah, I'll get into this. I have something similar.
But American Football self-titled, their debut, I easily consider to be that's a nice sticker on that bass, by the way. Easily consider 10 out of 10. Avalanche's Since I Left You, obviously. I've given many praise to that. Block Party's Silent Alarm, one of those it's a dance punk album I absolutely grew up with. I think is just absolutely perfect. Bon Iver's self-titled, the one that I'm now just talking about. It's Deja, Antidote, and the Devil and God Arranging Inside Me from Brand New. If you haven't seen what Jesse Lacey has done, yeah, it's disgusting. Bit of a pedophile. It's hard to listen to those albums, and I kind of don't anymore, but I still consider them 10 out of 10. It's weird. I absolutely love the art, but I hope the artist dies.
Fair enough.
It's a weird one. I'm not going to get too in-depth with it. Interpol's Turn on the Bright Lights, I think is a 10 out of 10. Japanese Wallpaper's Paper's debut EP. I know that's one that you two went to on, but that one I absolutely fucking adore. I think the next couple here, there will be absolutely no disagreements. Microphones Glow Part 2.
Yeah.
Middle East's recordings of the Middle East, and I Want That You Are Always Happy.
Yep.
and Neutral Milk Hotel's In the Airplane Over the Sea.
Yep.
Sticky Fingers Land of Pleasure. I know that might be a bit like controversial, but
I quite enjoyed that album. I don't know if I'd rate it a 10, but I quite enjoyed it.
there's just no moments on that I don't love. One that we haven't covered are Unicorns Who Will Cut Our Hair When We're Gone.
I think
That's
I've
just-
listened to the Unicorns on my own.
Yeah. Wombats This Modern Glitch. A lot of sentimental in that one as well. We haven't. This is one of the few ones we haven't covered. Hockey Dad's Dreamin'. I think is a fantastic EP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put out that I also treat EPs differently to albums, and it's more in there. It's more about the compilation of songs than it is about flow.
Yeah.
Obviously, The Home Is Where I Became Birds. That's like the most recent 10 on here. This one I know everyone will probably disagree with is Mole Rats in the Sky.
Yeah. I'm not gonna agree on that one.
Tiny Little Houses, You Tore Out My Heart. Saddest white boy fucking EP name, but fuck, I love that EP. Weezer's Pinkerton and Weezer's Blue Album, I actually consider on there.
Fair enough.
Vampire Weekend's Modern Vampires. Gautier's Like Drawing Blood. There was absolutely no way that I wasn't going to put that on there. And
Yeah, I was wondering if that was gonna come up. That's a fucking great album. I need to listen to that again.
And Muse's Absolution, actually.
Word.
Yeah. So that's
I-
currently what I have on this list. Is like the albums I consider a 10. I probably have some more that I should look into. Like I kind of go
Yeah.
through this list. But these are ones that I can definitely like. If you ask me, do I think this is a 10? I will, because I looked at them. I said like, is there any point of this where I wouldn't consider this a 10? And like for all of them, I will always just say no, they're 10s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fair
I think there probably are some albums in there that people won't. I think a lot of people might not put This Modern Glitch or Absolution as a 10 out of 10. That's fair.
Mhm.
I think there was quite a bit of sentimental that comes into these as well, but it's also when you grow up listening to them, it just like that shapes it, so it just kind of like stands there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm just looking at that. Like Home Is Where is actually the first. There was one that I would have put as a 10 out of 10 3 years ago. That would have been Brockhampton's Iridescence. But kind of like going back onto it, kind of like a 9 to an 8. Like, that was
Fair
a weird
enough.
one. Like, all the moments which people didn't like on that, I actually liked at the start, but now they haven't grown on me. They've like kind of gotten worse. And it's kind of weird for an album to do that for me.
Yeah.
Like, the highlights of that are still fucking top tier, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the Home Is Where becomes the first 10 for me in 3 years. So congratulations to that, I think. And those are both EPs as well. I guess I do treat albums a bit harshly. But I think we'll see what happens with well, the big front runners for my album of the year so far have been Paranol, Mogwai, Black Country New Road, and Petite League. I don't see Petite League being a 10, but I think we'll see what happens with Paranol.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Black Country, because I love that Black Country record. Fucking hell. We're going off track, but
enough.
we're going off track here, but like I don't really care. We can talk about whatever we want.
Oh shit. Levitation Sessions Volume 2 by OC's got is streaming now. I wasn't looking for that before. Yeah, because the first Levitation Sessions I listened to the absolute shit out of, and like they had deep cuts on that, like fucking The Fizz, and like I can only describe the version that they did live at the Levitation Sessions is just like a fucking like heavy Adventure Time song.
So let's go just quickly back onto now John Cougar concentration camp.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fun punk album.
Well, that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good moments in here. It's definitely. Look, I'm gonna send this to my dad, and I'm gonna get his opinions on this. And I feel like
let's get his opinions on this.
this is something that really reminds me of a Frenzal Rom, especially at their peak, and they were around the same time actually. maybe not quite as political or out there as Friends of Rom, maybe, but I'd feel like I'd be surprised if they weren't a bit here, John Cougar. I haven't really looked too much into the lyrics. Dominic's actually had quite a bit of AFI comparisons on here. I think more to early AFI, which I've never really listened to too much, so I can't really compare.
Yeah, I haven't really listened to much AFI either.
I do definitely agree with him that I Want to See Your Tattoo is the peak of this. I think that was a really fun run.
I wonder if Meth Wax's I Want to Do Acid and Get a Tattoo was partially inspired.
But I'm very happy that you finally picked this out. This was a good time.
Yeah, this has been something that I've like teased for a while. I had this was like my joke album for moving to Indiana, because I was gonna do John Cougar Mellencamp as like a joke, and like we're gonna finally talk about the sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze.
John Cougar Mellencamp songs are boring, and you know that.
Yeah, I was talking. They hate him in Indiana even. But like I thought, and then I'm like at the last minute, I'm like, I think this bait and switch will be fucking hilarious, and yeah, it was.
It was. This is good week. Very very much. I don't know. It's a very simple week to do. I feel like it's a bit like disjointed not having Dominic here, to be honest. But
yeah, he keeps us on topic. He herds the cats.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was just a nice week of listening to music. I don't think there's any better way to describe it. It's
yeah.
This is something that like I'm really gonna try and just like listen to more of the band, just to kind of see what's happened. But I don't think there'll be a band that I care about too much down the line. But hey, some bands are like that, and look, some albums you absolutely enjoy. If I ever find a CD for this, which I doubt probably exists, I
would find like a bootleg cassette tape.
Yeah, I'd still pick it up in a fucking like before my heart even beats.
Yeah, it's just a really fun punk album. Like there's not much else to it.
I'd say my favorite is I Want to See Your Tattoo. I don't have a least favorite.
Yeah, it's all good, but I Want to See Your Tattoo is definitely the peak.
So to surprise no one, Dominic's rankings here is Raccoon Love, Anamanaguchi, and John Cougar Concentration Camp is number 1.
That is also my rating.
I'm swapping John Cougar and Anamanaguchi, but I want to put out that I didn't hate. I know I keep stressing it. I didn't hate any album this week. I think we actually had a very lovely week.
Yeah, about as lovely as a concentration camp can be.
Yeah, fucking top tier name. I'm so glad you picked that.
Yeah.
So I think we should just kind of like echo again what we are covering next week, despite the fact that we have already said it during this episode, but also the episode before.
Yeah, I'm doing Sleep's Dope Smoker.
I've decided to kill everybody, and this is gonna be such a bad week for me. Gotta listen to Tones and Eyes. Welcome to the Madhouse. That's gonna be fun. I did finally get to make Trix and Dominic listen to Tones and Eyes' best song last weekend, which didn't seem to get too bad of a reaction, which could probably give them a bit of hope. It's not a song I absolutely hate, Dance Monkey, but I could tell you there's some people right now who hates it.
A little spoiler.
Yeah.
Dominic kind of likes Tones and I.
Wow. Wow, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely surprised since he's gone on the Fantano train as well.
Yeah. Well, he disagrees with Fantano a lot.
Right, fair enough then. I mean, I've disagreed with Fantano. I've listened to Swans, and I think it's an absolute fucking wankfest.
Oh, and the last album compilation sort of deal thing we're doing is Of Montreal's Daughter of Cloud saga thing that Dominic has picked out.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Indeed.
I can't wait to just absolutely blast everything, and then have. I actually hope. Like, I'm going into this with an open mind, but just from the singles that I've heard and stuff on this, I know I'm not going to enjoy this.
Oof.
But I really hope Dominic loves it, because I want to fight him after his Anamanaguchi's reviews.
We're gonna have a fist fight in an Outback parking lot when we finally meet up.
Vax passport ready.
Yeah, and I'll be there just fucking shredding a fucking punk tune while you two are fighting.
But unfortunately, until then, I have been Rit On. You can catch me on my website, Rit On for Kids at github.io. Sorry, I also have a YouTube channel, which will be in the description below. I also have a game out on Steam. I actually just pushed an update for that quite recently, the big 1.1.0. So if you're into rugby league, you might have yourself a grand old time.
I have been Trix. You can catch me on Twitter at procrastinaut_. It's like procrastinating astronaut. Then _. I am working on an update for my box, for my fucking Twitter bot that has enough spaghetti code in it to make Riddle and cry.
I work at a place that has spaghetti code that I'm working on right now. Not gonna describe it online, but spaghetti code has been making me cry for the past month.
Fair enough. And I might work on a second bot when I finish that about Castlevania names. So look forward to that.
Until then, have a good one.
Catch Dominic at Dominic at DACI, whatever the fuck he says, and Tilting Windmill Studios.
He doesn't write there
and,
anymore. Go read it.
No, but you can still read his shit. And Distant Waves, that space, and our YouTube channel.
And Dominic, I know you're listening. Just want to let you know that I love you. It's all in good fun, but fuck your Anamanaguchi views.
Well, let's get Craig out of here. Nope, I got that backwards. Whoops.
Make Craig join again.
No, I just had the buttons backwards.
And to the man who's stringing my guitar, probably doing better than I could.